So we're going to get right into it. What I have here with us today is the Gants, and the purpose of this episode is to really give you a visual expression and an example in them of what Wilson Financial does as a what I would consider a ministry. So the purpose of a ministry is to go out and to teach, and that's pretty much the direction that we take. Go out to teach people about finances, educate them on how to utilize their funds to the maximum of their potential, whether it be investing, saving for a house, car, whatever the case may be. So we're just going to get right into it. We're just going to talk to you guys about how Wilson Financial got attached to the Gants and what we've been able to do since we started this partnership together. Mm-hmm. So the floor is to you guys. Let you guys tell your story.
You want me to talk?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't like it to talk. No. We met Flo, I would say 2 years ago. About
like
2 years
actually,
ago.
like met him like I think we
Yeah, it was like 2 years ago.
We
It was when we came back
always-
from Mexico because we went out for his birthday. And we just looked at it on the little YouTube, on our YouTube page.
Yeah. We went to Famous Days.
We went to Famous Days. That's when we first met. We
That
went to
was
Long Beach. That was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So we met Flo
Yeah.
then, and he started coming around. He started coming to church and everything like that. And
Gotta
then,
get the word, man.
right, for sure, for sure. And Flo was coming around, and he mentioned, I think you mentioned to us that you did financial advising and different stuff. So I was like, I'm like,
Mexico, right?
this was after
No,
Mexico.
because remember he was helping us with like the finances
Yeah,
before we
because
left
I said you got
Mexico.
the
He
1200.
said you got this much.
Oh yeah, that's
before you go to
crazy.
Mexico.
Okay.
He was like, I got
You're right,
this.
you're right.
And then once you guys get back, we get into
Okay, so let's
before
backtrack.
Mexico.
It was before Mexico. You're right. I didn't think about that. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So backtrack before Mexico. Flo had basically, to
Watch.
kind of keep a long story short, Flo had been coming around to church. He had mentioned financials, and then for whatever reason, like stuff was getting hard at work. Times was tough. Times was hard. So I was like, yo, what's up with you being our financial advisor for real, for real?
That's exactly what he said.
That's exactly what I was like, what's up with you being our financial advisor for real, for real? And he was just like, okay, let's do it. Like, when do you want to sit down? And I was like, whenever. So I told my wife, I told him what we talked about, and he wants to meet on Tuesday. So I'll never forget. He came over that Tuesday. We was in the house for like
Up to 2 in the morning.
2 in the morning, going over everything.
Everything.
What
is
like tell
this?
me every single bill that you guys have.
Oh, it was such a long
Every single
process.
bill. How much is in your checking account right now?
How much is this?
How
What
much
all
is
do you
this?
pay?
All of this. Like,
How
what all
much
do you pay?
is it?
Man, every single thing.
Every single bill we had, we had to go over how much each bill
Yep.
approximately is every month, and we went through that. Both of us went through that, and
Yup.
it was a long.
When it's due, I don't
When
want,
it's
Exactly.
due,
I don't want
I'm
no
like,
surprises.
I'm like,
Yeah,
bruh, I
when
don't
it's
know
due.
half of this stuff. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
But yeah, we went through that. We stayed up till like 2 o'clock, and he was like, all right, I got everything that I need. Are you sure you told me everything? I probably didn't tell him everything.
Sure didn't.
I didn't. Because I was like, it's already a lot. And if I add some more, but I wasn't thinking smart.
But that
we'll
is
get
that is the main thing, though.
Right.
That is really difficult for a lot of clients to just know off top, and that is kind of a warning sign, because that means you're just shelling out money and you don't even know where it's going, and you can't regurgitate what bills that you have. So that was step number one.
Right, that was step one. So he went with us with this process on how there's different steps to there's a method to his madness. He always says that. He kind of threw us through the steps. He was like, the first step to everything is knocking out debt. So he was like asking, so we had to go through everything. He put out a whole plan on the Excel sheet, got everything together, and it was just like, yo, like he's really on it. Like he did all of this stuff and he put it all together and was like, by the end of the year, this is what we plan on doing. This is how we're gonna knock this out, this credit card out. This is how we're gonna knock. What else was on there? This was how we gonna knock out Westgate, timeshare, like just everything. It
Everything
was literally
we had,
every single thing.
Everything we had, it was like, this is what This is what we're gonna put towards this. This is when this should be paid off this month, this year. This one should be paid off by this end of this year. This is how much you're supposed to be having saved. And it was like it did seem forever, but the thing is, yeah.
So how did the process in the beginning?
It was terrible.
How did it feel?
It was terrible. It was terrible.
Listen, Linda.
It was terrible.
It was terrible.
It was bad.
You gotta let me know because I don't really be knowing how y'all feel.
It was terrible because we were trying to get out of debt. So every ounce of change was going towards paying off that
a bill.
Yes, it was going towards paying off what we had. So it was like y'all got this much left, and it was probably like
nothing.
Yeah, close to nothing. Like, hey, y'all want to get out of debt, or y'all want to do this? Y'all want to get out of debt, or y'all want to go into debt?
It was like everything.
And we're like, we hungry.
Right, and I'm hungry right now, bro. What are you talking about? We trying to go here. You got money to do that? No, but I'm just hungry. It was like a sad time. Like literally, it was like just tough. We couldn't do nothing. We couldn't go out with our friends. But it kind of is dope because it kind of started us to have discipline and like get us to where we needed to be. It was tough, but then we kind of like as the months went on, we kind of started working at it, and it was like after a while we kind of developed that mindset. And I actually went to him and I was like, "Yo, is that kind of like your thing? Like you try to get us doing that to see so we can see it on our own, and then we kind of develop the habit?" And he was like, "Yeah, that's exactly like why we do it. Like we couldn't do anything."
Yeah,
that's the key. That's the key. Getting things in order, or what we would like to say, get your house in order.
Right.
We all hear that term. It's pretty much getting things in perspective, so that way you're more aware of what it is, where your money is going.
Right.
And is it necessary for your money to go to that? What's the number one thing I was trying to teach you guys? Because yeah, you might be hungry, or you want to go out with your friends or go horseback riding all day, but is that what's important right now to reach your ultimate goal?
Yeah.
And at the time it wasn't. It was, let's pay the ring off. Let's get
that's what it was. Right. The ring.
Yeah.
Let's get the Westgate taken care of.
Right, for sure.
Credit card. You know what? Let's talk about the credit card. What was on the credit card?
Man.
That made the balance just ridiculous.
Like I said, times was hard. It was rough.
I don't think it was so much as like hard. It was just that we weren't disciplined to like say.
No, it was hard. It was hard times.
Was it?
Yeah, because I wasn't getting paid like I was. Like I got to the branch, and I was doing well, but then some bad months came, and like maybe like for 3 or 4 months straight. It was like from October 2016. No, November 2016 all the way up until March 2017. So that's a 6 month span. It was at one point I got a $15 commission check.
I don't remember that.
I remember. You don't. Shoot. I remember.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
And what happened was, the crazy thing is like, so I had let's say, no, I'll be transparent. I had a $5,000 limit on my card. Before when I was like getting paid good and everything was okay.
Yeah.
Like I was always paying on it, and I had told Flo that, but it started getting bad. So what we would do is we would hit Postmates. We'll go to El Pollo Loco. We'll go to Taco Bell. We were always eating out,
like
and exactly, and everything that we spent, everything that we earned, and put it towards the credit card, we ended up spending it double.
Okay.
So if it was like, let's say for instance, if we had like $1,000 on there already, I would pay like a $200 payment, knock it down, and then within the next couple of weeks, we'll have like $500 worth of food. And then it just hit, and then next thing you know, we maxed out on the credit card. And then we're trying to pay it. It was high. It was high.
We had 1% left on the card.
Right. Yeah. It was terrible. But it was like, but I gaining the discipline that he was trying to teach us, I actually went into the credit card and was looking. It was like a lot of pointless spending.
Yeah.
We think everybody thinks that they need to do this because this is like how else are we gonna do it? But if you think about it, most of the time we fall into these habits thinking that it's okay because this is what we're used to. Whenever you do something and you're doing it continuously and it's working, people don't want to get out of it because they think it's no other way because they're not trying to get out of it. But when I looked at it, I was like, look, we're spending how much a month on food when we could just do grocery shopping. And talking about grocery shopping, he told us we had $100 budget a week for grocery shopping. I was like,
sorry.
Yeah, we were like,
please.
Because at one point, like every time we would go grocery shopping, we were spending at least like 200. Like, you know, like, all right, you got 200, 250 at the grocery store. Do what you gotta do. Right. And like, all right. And so that was our limit. Here comes Flo. You guys got 100.
Right.
And we're like,
I'm like, boy, you tripping.
We can't do
that. How's he gonna do it?
100.
And it goes back to what I just said. Once you develop a habit and once you get to a place where you're doing it, then you see it's okay to do it. We didn't think it was possible. But shoot, up to this point now, $100 of groceries, shoot, we can get $60, $70 worth of groceries and be solid.
Yeah, I think it was like at the beginning.
You eat a lot.
And that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I eat like, if you got a 5 people home, I'll probably eat as much as 4 of y'all.
Yeah.
But it started to work.
I think that's like at the beginning, Flo, like he kept telling us like, hey, listen, like you guys are in the tunnel. You guys will see the light at the end of the tunnel, and we were like, "Where is this light?"
Right.
Like, we were searching high and low, still couldn't find nobody. I don't know where that light was.
To the wall too.
Stupid.
I didn't know where this light was.
Right.
But I remember the feeling that we had when we saw that little glimpse of light, and we were like, "Oh, okay." So this is it, okay? So we kind of felt good. And, you know, he told us, like, you know, once you guys start getting this habit, you guys get a debt, you guys won't be getting so many no's, you can't do this, no, you can't do this. Like, I will start, you know, opening up more things for you guys to do. And I think that's where we kind of started to see light at the end of the tunnel. Was like,
we were able to
do more things, and we were, you know, out of debt, or we were what am I saying?
For a second.
I'll cut all that out.
It's cool. And we're back. Okay.
You know what? I might leave it in there. I am a father of 2, and my son is here, and I just need to take care of that for a moment.
It's all good.
All right. So back to
yeah, we were getting out of debt, and so I think we once he saw that light, it started to feel a little bit better. And when it came to grocery shopping, it was like $100 was easy. I remember that first day we went with that $100 to spend, and we got so much stuff, and we only spent like $60.
Yeah.
And we were like,
I don't understand. I didn't understand how
did we get this much stuff when it felt like we were spending like $250 on groceries, and it seemed like when we got home we didn't have anything, versus having the $100 to spend, and it felt like we just like stocked up.
So y'all had the Walmart card.
We had the Walmart credit card. Yeah, I remember we were using that. Yeah, that's gone.
Keyword had.
That's gone.
Got rid of that.
Yeah, so $100 became easy for us to, especially with him, and so we kind of had to learn how to use our money to make it last. And so I was like, okay, so how about we just do, instead of me thinking of like all these different things, let me just do big meals. So big meals, I'll make sure I make 2 big meals to last for the week, and for him to be able to eat, and for me to eat, and it lasts for a long time, and I'm spending less money because now I'm just getting the other little essential things that we need. And now it's a lot easier.
It's second nature now.
Yeah, it's a lot easier now. So we know how to manage it.
You talk about the light. When did you actually see the light, or that cloud of debt like start to dissipate? Because for me, I think it was
No, it wasn't. It was 18. It was 18.
February 18th.
That's when we got our we got our income taxes. We went to Jackson Hewitt, got our income taxes done.
By your boy.
Right. Got a nice little refund. And the discipline that we had developed, as soon as he told me how much we were getting, it was like, all right, throw this amount to the rings. So it was like
the phone call.
Right, we made the phone call. One of the rings gone. I mean, it was basically our finance two sides. It was like a finance of two companies pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So one was this amount, was certain amount, and one was I'll say one was like
you don't have to
2,000.
No, we don't want to be that transparent.
Oh, you don't.
You
don't want.
You know, I told him how much the credit card limit was. Like, we ain't got that much money, y'all. Just because he said, you know, how much the credit card limit was.
That's not telling them how much we got.
We ain't got it yet. $5,000 credit limit. You got it. But I'm just saying, no, you understand.
Anyways.
Just add that part out. Just add that part out.
Anyways.
Keep going.
So, her ring that cost the arm and the leg, half of it was paid off. And then it was like, we still had money left over to throw to the other portion of the ring. So it was like, yo, this is getting, it took us a few months, but it started to kind of trickle down. And as it kept trickling down, it was like hitting more. And I had got a promotion, going to sales, and that helped as well. So everything started kind of going down a little bit faster. What was once tough was becoming a little bit easier, but I would say that it's been having like, it'll have its spurts. Like sometimes we'll be like, oh, this is great. And then it's just like, oh, whatever. And then when we get back up on that high horse, oh, this is great, yo, we're getting closer to the house. And it'll be like, oh, we ain't gonna never get a house. So it's like it goes back and forth.
Yeah.
I mean, what affects that type of mentality where you see, like, you went from August to February, and like 80% of the ring was paid off. And by the time summertime hit, there was no ring. So
or credit card.
Or a credit card. The credit card
was
done too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we were out of debt within a year.
Within a year.
Within a year, we were out of debt of everything that needed to be paid.
Can I estimate how much that was? Can I share it with the people?
Yes.
That was nearly,
I would say yes, because that's the only way.
Okay.
That's the only way they'll know that it's effective. It's effective. It's
how much
you gotta know how much it was.
Okay.
That doesn't say about that we got money like that. It just means we was throwing it away. We was throwing it
down the garbage disposal.
Right.
All the money, but it was close to 9,000.
I would say more than that.
It was close to 9, because the credit card was almost a max, and the 2, it was around 9.
Which is okay.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at just those.
It was around 9.
I calculated
not
wrong.
Including Westgate, but it was.
Not including Westgate. Oh, so it was way more than that because Westgate.
So you pretty much eradicated $9,000 of debt in about 10 months.
Along with still paying bills.
Oh yeah, along with still paying bills.
And
so that means rent, gas,
simultaneously saving for that goal.
Yeah, at the same time.
So how do you have the high and the low, knowing all of that was done and it hasn't even been a year? Where does the low?
I'll tell you.
What do you mean? Wait, what do you mean?
Because he was saying the attitude, like first we be riding that high horse, and then it's like, dang man, we out here, like we out here under the bridge. But it's like, oh no, we in the mansion, cut.
Right.
Then it's like, oh man, I'm over here sleeping on the beach. Like how is that roller coaster? What triggers that?
I would say, I think that as long as we keep our mindset like set on that goal, because like the conversation we had like a couple of months ago about like, well, how can we speed the process, and we thought we were like here like, well, we can do, what if we do this? But then you were like, nah, and then we came back down. And like, we were just like, we were sad that day. Like, we were really sad. Like, so what you're saying is we still have this much longer to get our house. So, and we were just like,
but it's the same time frame.
Right. I know this, but I think because we were trying to think of other options for us to get in the house a lot sooner. and you were like, no, that's not gonna work. Nope, that's not gonna work. Nope, you gotta do this. You gotta do this. And we're just like, well, dang. Okay, well, I guess the time frame is still the same. And so we were sad, but then it's like we just have to think, okay, for the long haul, what our plan is, trusting the process is just gonna make it a lot better. So what helps is trusting the process and how it's supposed to be and how it's set up. That's what kind of just brings us back up to here from being low.
So to kind of give you guys context of what he's asking and what he's talking about, we're pretty much, ever since the first goal was set, when he's set out all of our bills and we started knocking out debt, the next process is to be able to pay bills and then to be able to save for the house as well. So we got to the place where we're starting to save for the house as well as pay our bills, and everything is working fine. So he's asking us, like, how do we stay in those low moments when everything is fine, everything looks good, bills are paid, we're on our way to the house, but it just takes longer. So just to kind of give you a little background of what he's talking about, but I'll tell you what it is for me. What makes it, I think it's a combination of time, impatience, and then excitement too. So it's not really in the order, but you get excited because you see the progress in your accounts. You start to see things start to build.
Not only the accounts, the credit scores.
Exactly. Credit scores start to build up. The account's starting to build up. You're paying your bills, which is second nature now. Like, we don't even think about the bills.
Early.
Like, everything's getting paid off early. We pay more than what we need to pay, so we got credits on bills. And I think it's like, it doesn't have anything to do with anybody else's situation. Like, it could be, usually people will say, oh, my friends are getting this and my friends are doing this. For us, it's more like, we see everything moving in the right direction, but we just want it now. I think we live in a society where everything is like microwave. It's like not cooked and slow churned, and you know what I mean? They don't take the time with it. Everything is microwave. So I think we fall into that. And we want it.
Food gets you sick.
Right, right.
We want to marinate.
We don't want it. We want it to right,
350.
right.
Sitting there for about an hour.
But we want to get there now, but it's not there now. So then it's like you get discouraged because you can't get to it as fast as you want to, but everything is looking good. And it's like, man, so that's how you get on that, you hit those low points because you're like, man, well, how come we can't just take all of that and just put it into a down payment now?
Yeah.
But you got to think, and you sat us back down and calmed us back down like, okay, let's do that. Do what you have, let's do that on down payment. This is how much a down payment you would need on this type of house that you're looking at. This is what's going to be your mortgage. Can you pay that mortgage?
How you gonna do that?
Right.
How you gonna do this?
Can you pay the renter's? The house insurance or whatever, the mortgage insurance, whatever it's called. Yeah. Are you going to be able to pay your mortgage? Are you going to be able to do this? Yeah. And it's like, no. So then once we find that out, then it's like, okay, we get back on the course.
And the reason why I say I gave them that, I guess you could say that picture is, rushing into a home is great, but also be aware of what that entails. And so if you're a person that has like 5,000 and 10,000, you want to go ahead and put it on there because all you need is like 1%. There are other things that go along with it. So you got your mortgage, you got the mortgage insurance premium, which is pretty much additional money that goes to the bank that secures the loan. That don't help you put down the principal. Right. Then you got the interest. Right. Then you got the property tax that goes coupled in there with the loan, because a lot of people go FHA, or they use these different programs to hurry, and what it ends up being like it could turn into like a 40 or 50 years you're paying on the house because of that. And a lot of people, and it doesn't have to be that way. There is another avenue, because you can always refinance, and that mortgage insurance premium goes away after 10 years. But a lot of people don't know that. Because I personally had a client come in and they were making payments for 10 years and they only knocked down their principal $10,000.
How much the house cost?
Their house was $700,000.
How long? That's what I'm saying.
10 years, and they only
knock down $1,000 every year.
You ain't put a dent in that house.
Yeah, so you gotta. It's not all about rushing. You gotta be knowledgeable and know every intricacy when you sign that paper.
Yeah.
Before you even sign the paper, before you even start the process, so you know what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah.
So that way you know how to get out of that situation.
Yeah, because I think it's also when you're coming from and renting is a lot different from going from renting to owning.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you have a landlord, you know, so if anything needs to get fixed, oh, let me just call management. Let me let them know my garbage disposal is not working or my air conditioning isn't working, and then you let them know and they come fix it. But it's like when you have a home and you're owning it, that's all up to you. So if you don't have anything set aside for those emergencies that may happen, it's like you in your house hot. You know, your stuff isn't working. You gotta find someone to do it.
You got African tall grass.
Y'all have a lawnmower. You can pay anyone to come and cut your grass. You gotta think about all those different things, and also like if you're coming from a small apartment or whatever, and you just decided, oh, I want to get this big old, you know, luxurious house. Okay, now you have to furnish it. And so it's like you got to think about all those things as well too, and that's what we have to think about. That's what we have to think about. But I mean, that's what we have. We have a whole plan for that.
Right.
So that's something that we won't have to worry about whenever it's time for us to get a home. Yes, the process is long, but if we're thinking about all those different things along the process, it will make it so much easier whenever we do get into that home, because we have all these different things set aside for what's to come. So
Yeah. Anything else you want to add?
No, I ain't even think about that right now.
Yeah, you have to think about that.
No, I'm saying like I don't want to think about that because then it makes you not want to get a house. It's like, dang, you got to worry about all of that.
Yeah.
So right now I'm just focusing on the goal, the process.
The
Yeah,
process.
I'd rather focus on the process and just deal with the other stuff when we get there, because we already have like she said, we already have a plan set for that.
Prior planning always prevents, poor performance. So that's one of the things I like to, go out and teach different clients that I have on board. Because that is really the key. If you're not paying attention to what you're doing, you will find yourself dealing with the burden of debt. And that is a dream crusher. Because you could be working your job, but that's not what you want to do. But what you want to do requires extra money. But because you went out and got this and got that just to make yourself temporarily happy, now you've actually prevented yourself from pursuing that goal, that dream job, entrepreneurship, whatever it may be. And you end up stuck in the job and you don't want to be there.
100%.
And you don't know how to get yourself out of it. So that's pretty much what I want to do. I want to open the eyes of everyone I come in contact with and help and teach them the way that they got to go, so that way when they go off on their own, they know how to pass that information and knowledge to others. So with Wilson Financial, it isn't about having you as a client until I can't walk no more. It's pretty much me just teaching you for the time that you need to help you along the way. So now that information get passed down to the next generation, and now you have an entire family of generations within your own personal family that knows how to navigate with their money, with their finances, and start building that wealth that you're able to pass on to the next.
Right.
So that's pretty much like my goal, is to teach an entire generation about finances, enhancing their financial literacy, so that way what they see on TV is something that they can actually do for themselves in their own way. Because honestly, not everyone's going to get on TV, but there's a lot of people that we see visually on TV doing these things. There are other people that are in the world actually doing what it is that they love to do, and they're living the life that they want to live. And that's what I want for everyone. If being a banker, that's what you love to do, great. If you want to be someone who does music all the time, but you're working at a regular job, let's work on the transition to get you to do what it is that you love, what you're passionate for, what the gift that God gave you. Go ahead and use it to affect other people's lives in a positive way.
For sure.
And that's pretty much my entire message that I send out, not
sure that you're knowledgeable, that you're prepared for everything, even the surprises, because always focusing on the goal, but always prepared for the worst case scenario.
Mm-hmm.
So even with the Gants here, we've been trucking along the way, and there were things that had to get taken care of, and we were able to take care of it because we had the contingencies in place, and it didn't stop no process towards your guys' goal. You were still able to keep on trucking along the way, and matter of fact, might be even sooner to get that house.
It's possible.
It might even be sooner. It may not even have to take,
It's
like I said it needed to take.
right.
It might have cut a whole year off.
Thank you, Lord.
Thank
And,
you, Jesus.
And it's crazy because we can never really prophesize, but if none of this never happened, would that door have opened? And you never know.
No.
But whether it opened or not, you have the knowledge and you have the habit to be like, oh, okay, we can do this. All right, we got the house. Oh, I'm finna start this business or that business or whatever the case may be, not only for you guys, but for anyone, that it is possible.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
It is
You just
truly
have to have
possible.
the discipline to do
With
it.
Christ, all things are
All
possible.
things are possible.
And with the help of Wilson Financial,
With the help of
it'll
Wilson Financial.
work. It'll
work.
work. It'll
Yeah.
work. It was a lot of struggling, a lot of arguments. Like me and this dude has went back and forth about a lot of stuff. We'll be on three-way all together. Dominique just sitting on the phone quiet with that awkward silence.
Just
Because
listening.
me and Flo going back and forth.
But you said, no, I didn't say that.
Right.
Oh my God. That's how the
Right.
arguments always are.
It always like that.
I
Flo,
didn't
you
say
said,
that. Yes,
and
you
then
did.
Darnell, you said, no,
It's-
I
okay,
didn't.
let's go to messages.
Right. Right.
It's
But-
circle said.
But it always comes back to we always find common ground and we always figure it out together. And if it wasn't for you, obviously if it wasn't for God, but God sent you into our lives to be our friend, to be our brother, and to be able to help us move forward with this process, it's just been dope.
Yeah,
You brought up another point. You brought up something else. My brother.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Right.
Wilson Financial. We're family oriented with all of our clients. We joke around, we laugh, we make sure we do the work that we need to, but we also have the time to go ahead and hang out, chill,
Right.
be funny, joke about finances or whatever topic. So it really is more. It is like a family, a little community of all of us working towards achieving our goals. My goal is to reach as many people as possible. Their goal is to reach their house and beyond. And so we're all in this bucket, but we're not the crabs. We have the ladder and we're getting out of the bucket together.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Every time I take a step,
That's
you
a
take
word.
a step.
Yeah, like
That's
that.
a word.
Oh, the Lord just gave it to me. I don't know where that came from. I've never said that before.
Right. No, I
I
got
was like,
you.
oh, and then while you were saying, I imagined myself a crab, like in a bucket.
Only thing is crabs can't use ladders. Right.
No.
Right.
But we're all uplifting each other all together at the same time. And I just want to end the segment with this, that I appreciate you guys putting not only your belief but your faith in me and your trust in me to help you guys through this process. Because even not only just the business, but being someone who is new. God damn it.
You good?
She don't have keys. Who is
No,
that?
she doesn't.
Dang, QQQE.
Okay,
All
let's
right.
go run back and start over.
Yeah, I'm
No,
gonna start over.
you don't have to start over. Just jump
Oh,
back
you
in
just
what
cut
you
out.
said.
Oh, you just cut out that whole part.
Because you can even cut to where you're coming back like now and then just I'll edit your video. You good?
Okay, but what was I saying?
You
You
were saying
said-
like you think.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
thank you.
So I just want to go ahead and thank you guys for putting your trust, your faith, and belief in me, and giving me the opportunity to help you guys. Because being someone who started this, we can call it what it is. For me, it's a ministry.
Mm-hmm.
But for the outside world,
very, very difficult as someone who's starting out to even get clients or exposure for people to, you know, accept the business for what it is, believe in the business, and support it. So that way the business can grow itself. And that can be very difficult starting up
For sure.
a new business, because you come across a lot of people look at you a little funny, look at you a little strange, they look at my age, then they get kind of confused because I have gray hairs, so they don't know which direction to go. Does he really know what he's talking about? Because there's this other guy across the street, he's been in it for 22 years. I'm just gonna roll with him. I'm not even gonna give you that chance.
Right.
Yeah.
So I really do appreciate the support.
For sure.
And for me, because of your guys' act as being my first clients, that's what I'm going to do personally. If I see a black business, I'm going to go and support them, or any type of new business,
Right.
whether it be clothing, food, restaurant, doesn't matter. I'm going to extend my hand and try to help them, give them what I've earned too, to help bring them up, because I can't talk about we all rising together if I'm not showing it outside in my daily life. So
100%.
Yeah.
just want to appreciate you
Of
guys
course. Well,
No, no problem.
being my first clients, you know.
We thank you.
And growing more ever since then. But
Yeah.
you guys kicked it off, and I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Of
no
course,
problem,
yeah.
bro.
I mean, even though it was hard at the beginning, you made it easier for us.
Made it
As
a
far
lot
you made it
easier.
a lot easier for us when it came to our money and our spending and our habits. So yeah, you made it a lot easier for us.
If anything, I hope I brought you out of the dark room and brought you into the light.
Oh, I
hope
found the
you
light.
guys see the light.
Only Jesus brings us to the light. Amen. Say amen again.
Oh, he is the light.
But go ahead and tell the people what you guys are doing, your Instagrams, your handles, so they can follow you.
Okay, yeah, so you can follow your boy at Trust and Few. That's trust
Yeah.
_N_few. Few 4, my bad. And you can just follow me on Instagram and on Twitter. I don't really tweet that much anymore, but you do on Facebook at
Birds
Darnell
ain't
Gant.
chirping, huh?
Right, birds ain't chirping no more. But so yeah, and then what's yours?
My Instagram is Lola Divine, LOLADIVINE. Yes. Facebook Dominique Gant, and then our shared Instagram page Darnell and Dominique.
Darnell and Dom. I thought it was Darnell and Dom.
No, it's Darnell and Dominique.
Oh, okay. But yeah, and then we also have a YouTube page. We're gonna start getting back to the
Yes,
YouTube thing.
YouTube, Life with the
Coming back
Gants.
from the hiatus.
Yeah,
Right,
Life
right.
with the Gants.
Life with the
Follow our YouTube page as well.
Yeah.
Well, we're getting back to some videos.
We're gonna get back
so
to it.
we have
We're gonna
lots
get
of
back to it.
ideas.
It's a lot of ideas coming up, a lot of stuff that we want to do. Don't really have time for it, but we're gonna kind of make some time for
Check
it.
it out, you guys. The stuff is pretty fun.
Yeah,
It is pretty fun.
Yeah, we
Life
have
with the
some-
Gants is fun.
Yeah, you should see the stuff that we already have. Like, yeah.
Y'all go ahead and subscribe to that stuff.
Yes,
Exactly.
and follow
Stay
our
up to date.
pages, please, please, please.
Yes, for sure, for sure.
All right, you already know Wilson Financial is on Facebook. Wilson Financial, that's just that simple. And then Instagram, which is Wilson Financial MGMT. Stay up to date for our YouTube as well. All righty, thank you.
Follow.
Deuces.